So I've been getting more and more into fitness over the last couple of years. I'm not necessarily one of these CrossFit guys that have testosterone shooting out of their eyeballs. You know, the types of guys that will do pull-ups while they're fixing their scrambled eggs. But I like to work out pretty regularly. And I'm at the point in my life where I'm a lot more comfortable with my body after being just super thin and gangly all through my teenage years and even into my 20s. Like, there was just nothing here. Like, my dick was on my chin, just nothing. Always had to be careful shaving. I also consider myself to be a pretty good-looking guy. I don't have a very good side profile, though. From straight on, I've got a pretty nice face, but with a simple turn of my head, I start to resemble something that looks like a creature from the Dark Crystal. I go from James Franco to Jim Henson, just like that. I always get freaked out in those men's apparel stores with those three-sided mirrors, because I'll be standing in those things and I'll be like, geez, is this one of those magic Jew mirrors? Ooh. Darn thing adds 10 pounds to my nose. I'm Jewish, I can say these jokes. Worst job I ever had was working in Target. Target was the worst job I ever had because Target is just one big fucking store. Never take your kids shopping for clothes in Target because by the time you reach the cash register, he'll have grown 3 sizes. People would always come up to me and ask me where stuff was, and I would just have no clue. And it wasn't totally my fault because people would never come up to me and ask me like for normal stuff, like, excuse me, I'm looking for a box of Cheerios. It was always, excuse me, I'm looking for that microwave oven pencil sharpener dildo washer that I saw in your catalog. Microwave oven pencil sharpener dildo washer. Well, I know we sell the individual dildo washers over in aisle C, along with all your other dildo needs. So I would say head that way and hope for the best. Good luck, pal. I'll be rooting for you. I also used to work in a pet store, and working in a pet store is not the same thing as working in your average part-time remedial job. Like, if you work in a grocery store, for instance, the apples don't shit on you. Reptiles would always freak me out. I could never walk past the snake cages without just being like, ugh, ugh. And these were little snakes too. I'm not talking about like 9-foot-long boa constrictors that have to be fed kindergarten children. I'm talking about little snakes, like the corn snake. Can't get much less threatening than a corn snake. Sounds like something Orville Redenbacher would call his penis. Meanwhile, snakes are like the most docile animal on the planet. They're basically the couch potato dad of the animal kingdom. They just sit there all coiled up all day. They're just like, leave me alone. I'm trying to watch TV and eat my mouse here in peace. Go grab me a beer. We also had fish in the pet store, and isn't it the saddest thing to watch a fish die? You just kind of stand there all helplessly as he just kind of does that backstroke of doom, and you can't really do anything for him in that poor little floppy demise. But I try not to be helpless. Like this one time I tried giving a fish CPR through a straw. A little mouth-to-gill resuscitation. One last thing about working in a pet store is never work in a pet store thinking you're going to be working with some hot female employees. Because even though it's a pet store, I swear, a lot of these girls were right out of the zoo. These are all the girls that the fancy restaurants would put back in the kitchen rather than up at the hostess stand. But occasionally we would get like a decent looking girl working there who was a genuine animal lover. But it always seemed like they were more interested in fucking the animals than me. Like they would be taking care of a little guinea pig, and I would walk over and say, hey, I got a corn snake that needs taken care of. My parents growing up were the types of parents that would put every little scholastic achievement up on the refrigerator. Like every shitty little art project, every test score, every report card would be up there. If I got a 90 on a test, that thing would be up on the refrigerator. If I got a 50 on a test, that thing would be up there on the refrigerator. First condom I ever used was up on the refrigerator. That's only because my mom couldn't get the first girl I ever fucked up there. But she tried, God bless her soul. Oh, sorry, honey. I don't think this magnet is gonna hold. You couldn't find a smaller one? I also used to work as a journalist during the day, and they refer to all the top journalists as news hounds. You know, the type of reporter who's just gonna go out and sniff out the news, find the news, find the news. Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a news hound. I was more like the dog off in the corner peeing on the floor. As all the other news hounds were out there sniffing around, I was sniffing around, ooh, Game of Thrones recaps on YouTube. Alright, that's about my time. Thanks, everybody.